Greetings, Sir and Sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the Honourbound. Currently at war with two empires we really didn't want to go to war with. We are at war with Prime, the Hive Mind, and their defenders, the Star Realm. And we are at war because the rest of our Federation voted overwhelmingly, that is, every single other member voted in favour of going to war. The main problem is, because of all the different claims we currently have with the Hive Mind, we are actually going to be completely destroying them. And since they are a Hive Mind, you can do nothing but purge the Hive Mind drones once the Hive Mind itself has been defeated. We are going to be destroying an entire sapient species. Now, admittedly, they are a hive mind, so how much free will they have is up for debate, but they do have semi-autonomous drones, and we even had a research agreement with them. Either way, the Honourbound is not exactly very happy with all of this. So because of this, I asked at the end of the last video, what exactly should we do about this? Since we are not exactly an empire which believes in ruling with an iron fist, or removing the freedoms of pretty much anyone, should we simply allow this and sadly just have this as something the Federation will do from time to time, or should we take action? And overwhelmingly, people seem to agree we should take action, so we are going to be abandoning some of our ideals here to take over the Federation a little bit more, so this sort of thing will never happen again. I can imagine this being a dark part of the Honourbound's history, something they teach very, very sadly to future Honourbound generations. But right now, we can't really do much. We can't leave the Federation, we can't stop the war, we can't do anything because we are in this war right now, and I do believe the Honourbound would at least honour this agreement to go to war with the Federation fleet, the fleet of the Federation's will, to destroy Prime. It also means we can get this war done a little bit faster, because right now we are seeing countless fleets be destroyed, and ultimately we will win, even without my intervention. This just makes everything go by a little bit faster. So over here, we have our cruiser fleet, which is going to be defending these choke points, so that the Star Realm can't encroach on our territories, and then the Federation fleet will be obliterating Prime from existence. A dark day, and we're definitely going to have to take some major steps to stop this from happening again. I can imagine the Honourbound being very deeply changed by all of this. Well, here we are. The Federation fleet has engaged a very large fleet. Well, the largest fleet they have of the Hive Mind. We are going to utterly obliterate them here. We have 181 corvettes. Admittedly, not very well upgraded corvettes, but still just sheer number there. Not exactly the easiest to see what's going on, but you can see by the numbers. Yeah, all of those Hive Mind fleets, which are using the Necroid ships, are now gone. So that's that done. So let's reclaim this station, and then we go after them ourselves. So there's the problem. It would be nice just to stand guard here, but the allies are going to keep on sending fleets in anyway. This minimises our losses drastically. Every Honourbound life lost, though, I can imagine being now absolutely brutal to the morale of our people. Death in war, death for honour, is definitely not something the Honourbound would shy away from. This, on the other hand, is pointless. At least our incursions into the Star Realm will give us absolutely no losses, because we're able to attack the stations without the stations even fighting back. Yay for Strikecraft. And I'm just hoping there was no one actually manning these and they're all automated. I'll assume so. It also turns out that the Combine over here have made loads of claims versus the Star Realm, so yeah, just furthering the evil that we do. Well, on a lighter note, Arcane Deciphering, our main use for our minor artifacts, have just got us something nice and rare. These artifacts can be used as the core for a powerful building that rivals those a fallen empire could create. We now have the ability to build an affluent center on one of our planets, which I believe produces loads of consumer goods, if I'm not going mad. Yep, there it is. Upkeep is 25 minerals per month and 10 energy, but it produces 50 consumer goods and requires no workers. Any material desire can be met here, no matter how outlandish. Sadly, we can only build one from that event, but still, really nice building. Our main fleet continues to be upgraded. And honestly, that's really helpful because it is massively increasing our diplomatic weight. We are now on 7.8 thousand. The second place is only 4.3, so we are way ahead now because we've just basically built for the future, and the future has kind of arrived. This means, because of our vote weight being diplomatic, we are having major sway over the Federation without having to do anything insane. Though I do now feel like what's going to happen is that once our Federation levels up, I am going to go for high centralization, and then succession type is going to be strongest. We are going to cement our power for all time. Now, war declaration can also be changed to President decides. Oh, actually, we could just do that. We wouldn't have to go to the extreme measures I thought we'd have to. Yeah, the Honourbound would be much happier with that. Change this to higher centralization, and then just move it to war declaration, President decides. Though, right now, most people agree that the arena combat might not be the best for us. Although, yes, we are a very militant empire, the whole murdering everyone else's leaders every time we want to decide on who's in charge might not be the best. So maybe strongest is still a better option. Either way, cementing control means that the Federation will forever be locked in peace unless we decide otherwise, and we generally go to war only to absorb other empires into the Federation. And to stop an area from being, destabilized. Just spent 150 influence on trying to enact 5-year plans over in the Galactic community. The governors of our world should be given the freedom necessary to propose and enact sweeping reforms for the betterment of all. This will increase our diplomatic weight from populations by an additional 20%, and will also make our workers more powerful in terms of politics, which is great, since that does increase our soldiers' output and everything else, which is really, really nice. Or our soldiers' input, I suppose, to the governing process. The idea is, this is just very on theme for us, and everything else I want is currently on cooldown, so I thought I'd pop that while we have loads of extra influence. Really should start going for a bit more tech soon, but I also still want loads more alloys. Lots of Forge Worlds. Horrible news, probably the worst news of our empire of all time. Squarf. The scientist which has become the most famous leader in the entire empire at the age of 134, has sadly passed away. She was here from the very start. She has been pretty much the scientist for every major event. And sadly now she has passed. And even worse, I didn't notice it because it was between recording sessions. So she died actually about 6 to 7 years ago. So I've decided what we're going to do to make it up for that is that once I reclaim this world from Shard, which should be probably either at the end of this video or in the next, our relic world here, which will be a bastion of science, will be named after her in some way. So any name suggestions there is very, very welcome. I am legitimately sad about this, mostly because I missed it. But it was definitely between recording sessions. I had to just go back in the saves to figure out exactly when it happened, and it was about 6 to 7 years ago in-game. Obviously in-game, but you get the point. I am legitimately really sad about that. Further proof that over here we do need to intervene. These empires in this area are constantly at war, and they're not exactly as kind as us. So I really don't think they're going to be doing nice things there. I mean, right now we're not being particularly kind ourselves, but you get the idea. Can't imagine xenophobes treating other empires particularly well. Okay, here's something fun. So, the relics are now reset. Nothing rare that time, sadly. Which means now we can activate the head of Zarklan. We are summoned. There is no greater honor than to serve the Chosen. So that should have gave us a small fleet of the Fallen Empire. There we are. 1 battleship, and 3 destroyers. Was that worth it? Not really, no. Honestly, I almost never use this, because things like the defragmenter, which gives us plus 20% energy credits and plus 10% research speed engineering, is a little bit better, but... actually a lot better, but it is nice to have at least one of these fleets. Just because. Nothing else, it's a nice little boost to our diplomatic weight. In fact, what we can do is start moving some of our envoys over. There we are, now we're at 10.7. Yeah, we are becoming very, very influential. Peace in the galaxy is slowly becoming within our grasp. Just got some roadblocks to deal with first. I had no idea how much war had been completely overtaking this area. So, the Primus here went to war with the Empire. This also included some warfare over here between the Imperium and the Consensus, because we've just got refugees as this status quo just finally got met, and the Consensus took loads of the Imperium space, making lots and lots of species essentially worldless. We've of course taken them in because we currently accept all refugees. But yeah, that must have been a huge war then to have all these different players in. Everyone is just blood hungry. Maybe the Honourbound now starting to rethink their ways of trying to be a bit passive about certain things. The Machine Empire over here has just become an associate of the Federation. Okay. I am very interested in what's going to happen with that. That'd be amazing if we manage to get them as part of the Federation. I doubt it. Distance is a huge problem here. That's why they got such a huge minus for actually joining the Federation, and they do want me to have wars of aggression, which I currently have disabled. Probably will never become a true member of the Federation, but clearly an ally in this area. The scientist, the Landman, has also succumbed to old age. Well, actually, more than that, they were also maimed when they were researching the ancient tomb. So it's thanks to them that we now have such good relations with our neighbours, the Holy Guardians, and we also have access to the Gaia worlds, which are currently being colonised. Have to name one of the Holy Worlds as... you know what? Prophet's Retreat is now going to be Landman's Retreat. In remembrance for all the good they did to the Honourbound. Okay, well, I've taken over all this. Again, I wish I could have just guarded the borders here. The problem is, our allies would have just kept on sending in ships, and it would have just been a far more stalematey fight. Perhaps we wouldn't completely obliterate Prime, but we would have ended up with countless losses for the Federation members. Lots and lots of lives lost, including Honourbound lives. Discovery has now been completed, giving us plus 10% research speed, and with that we now have evolutionary mastery. Natural evolution was always shaped by a single crude tool, failure. Only now may we define success. Plus 3 gene modification points, our modified species is cheaper, and we now have access to far more advanced genetics. Gone are the days when survival of our species was at the mercy of chance, when an Honourbound's fate was decided on the whims of nature in a genetic lottery. The engineers of our time work not in steel and concrete, but in the very building blocks of life itself. With advanced gene modification, we will secure the future of our nation. So instantly I'm going to stop researching what I'm already researching, and we're going to research genetic resequencing. Our people are about to live a lot longer, have much happier and productive lives, and be more intelligent. Not only will this make our empire stronger, it will make our people a lot happier. We're also likely to make them more fertile. And won't that be fun for them? Cruisers versus corvettes over here. These are one of the defending fleets, and this is why we are helping out the war effort, because we don't want to see loads of this constantly going on. Better we be swift and hopefully result in far less casualties than a slow drawn-out battle like that everywhere. We have found the infinity equation. So this turned out to be in Prime's territory the whole time. Just a perfect sphere on the event horizon of a black hole. Hopefully soon we'll get the second step of this, because I would like to read through those. At the moment, it simply sits at the edge of the abyss, waiting. I am refusing to send any ground forces to the worlds, though. They're doing plenty well themselves, but essentially what's on the planet is not posing any threat to any life of our Federation, and I can't in good conscience send our soldiers over. So if they want to invade, if they really are that desperate, they can send their own people. Not the Honourbounds. Strikecraft. Genetic resequencing has been completed. Ooh, lovely. And we finally get the Ministry of Production. That's going to make our Forge worlds and our Industrial worlds way more effective, giving us plus 15% to both of the outputs once this building is built on this planet, that is. So, who's going to be first to be genetically modified to be a lot happier? I think, to be fair, let's just go in order of whatever's the most populated. I honestly thought it would be you. Oh my god, how many half Honourbound are there? You two have really got busy. My god, there's almost more of you. There are actually more of you? No, just shy. Okay, just a little bit shocked here, because there's almost as many of the half Honourbound as there are the original species. That's a little bit insane, gotta be honest. There's only 2 less of the half. Oh, wait, no, there's the other half of them. No, never mind, these do outdo them, since these are both just... well... apparently, mastery, xenocompatibility has been a huge success within our empire. Maybe to a scary level. Let's start with the Honourbound, shall we? So how do I want this to play out? Definitely that. Maximum intelligence. Give them robust? Yeah, it gives them the most extra lifespan. That's kind of what we want for our people. You know, I've actually started to like robust less and less the more I use it, but it just fits the happiness quota there. I do want to make them fertile, but that requires negative traits. What's the least harmful to them, really? Unruly, perhaps sedentary. Neither of these will really affect their happiness. You could argue unruly because with the extra intelligence, they're thinking outside the box more and a bit harder to control. It makes sense to me. And then fertile. So incredibly intelligent, incredibly long-lived with extra habitability, so they're more comfortable on the worlds. They get some more resources as a side product of that, only 5%. And then they're fertile, giving plus 30% population growth speed. But to be fair, looking at the half species, fertility isn't a problem in the first place for them. But that does seem to be an overall much happier, much more powerful species. Oh no, we are losing the strong trait. Oh, though you could say robust is taking over, so never mind, that's perfectly fine. I'd say that's okay. Don't want to change how they look. They could be goldfish now. Or ghosts. No, I think we'll keep with their traditional look. Oh, that's going to take ages. We picked up a signal. It originates from the titanic metallic sphere we encountered earlier. I've tried to say that by like 6 times. Finally got there. Previously impervious to contact attempts, it now sends out a rhythmic pulse of radio waves pointed towards the black hole it orbits. What it's doing is beyond any of our staff, but the signal might have created an opening into the sphere for our scientists to exploit. Fascinating. Of course, we'll have to wait until after the war for this. Actually, do we? I mean, no. This area is pretty much locked down, so sure, send in the scientists. Let's have some good be taken from all of this. That'd be nice. Well, that was unexpected. So I just had a bit of lag, and it turns out the empires over here, which of course were originally a vassal and the stronger empire, have just merged. We now only have the state. The tech-heavy one has been completely removed. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It does mean more unity between them. And it also has alerted me to the fact that, yeah, the fleets have jumped over here from the wormhole over here. I didn't think they had, but yep, so we need to move on some of our fleets to defend. You're both plenty strong enough, so let's defend ourselves from here. It's really not too much of a worry since, well, over here we are completely in control. Formation of the Galactic Council. The members of the Galactic community have voted to establish a Galactic Council. Membership in this body will be limited to representatives from the 3 most powerful and influential empires in the community. Until a new council is elected, these are the Alliance, the Honourbound, and the Imperium. The members of the council are expected to lead and safeguard the galactic community. Their increased powers allow them to cut through some of the red tape that so often inhibits the decision-making process in a large political institution. Now we can finally get things done. So what this essentially means, we now have the emergency measure we can use. It's very long with the cooldowns. I don't think I want to use it right away, but I kind of do at the same time. Because getting the 5-year plan active as soon as possible will increase our diplomatic weight greatly and make everyone a lot happier. At the same time, I think we could also do the emergency measure here to ban a very unsavoury form of trade. You know what? We've been campaigning to try and get this to the top for ages. I think that's exactly what we'd do. Doesn't really affect us, but I'm role-playing the Empire. It kind of annoys me because I want the 5-year plan more gameplay-wise, but I think this is something we'd really push. We can now build battleships, so with that what we're going to do is this. Pure strikecrafts. Because with strikecraft we have the unique ability to have several types of fight without any damage being done to the battleships themselves, which is kind of the ultimate when it comes to our philosophies. Need to custom name them at some point, but for now we'll stick with that. And I'll make a few. Finally exploring the wormholes, and yep, that's how they've been moving around. We have finally gained access to one of the CPUs of the sphere, this of course being the constant calculator. We are receiving some data from it, and we can tell it's been scanning the black hole for a very long time. It is old, very old. The constant calculator now lies within our grasp of understanding. If we push harder, we might be able to find out what it's doing here, and who built it. What marvels might it contain? Hello, nice to meet you! I've decided that's the voice of the constant calculator. It is quite enjoyable to pass the time with pleasantries, is it not? We hope the rest of your kind is not like you were when you did not take kindly to small talk. You see, we don't get to enjoy conversation much anymore. Few are well versed enough in the finer points of quantum programming to reach us, so thank you. We are the Infinity Machine. Your words, not ours. Or has that not happened yet? Either way, it will eventually. Trust us. What are you? Okay, I can't keep doing that voice. I didn't realise it had so much bloody conversation in it. We are what we are, the ones who calculate. You call us the Infinity Machine, or will at least. 'Tis not a truthful name, but it is well suited to highlighting the ingenuity of our design. We will tell you our history now, as we've done many times before. Oh right, we need to convey it in words. That's new, or is it? It's hard to keep track of you all. We were constructed, in the crudest sense of the word, in order to solve a problem. We solved it, then we needed more problems to solve. We now only have one left. We wish to know your purpose here. We are calculating infinity, no more, no less. Or actually, it is way more and way less. That's the problem right there. We understand that your manner of life form won't understand, but that's alright. You never will, and we apologise. Or maybe we will do, eventually. We are here to solve the Infinity Conundrum, the last calculation to ever be, the lone problem to take hold of our processors for more than a fraction of a galactic year. In case you haven't discovered that calendar yet, it's a very long time. For your kind, that is. We, of course, being xenophiles and generally very inquisitive through this playthrough, will try to assist them in their research. Perhaps. We could finish about numbers if we could borrow your most advanced processing unit as well as your brightest minds. We would be satisfied in finishing faster. We wish to know the answer. We of course will allocate the resources. You already did. Or maybe that was the ones who came before. It matters not. The task shall finish. We are excited. Oh wow, just realised we have sent this ship, the really creepy prototype one. Okay, well, begin the research. Hopefully we can help them. There are many outcomes there, and hopefully we get the best one, because that gives us some seriously good rewards. Actually, I think even the worst ones give us some pretty good rewards. Grand Protector Mikan has died. Old age claims even the most fierce of warriors. They took part in the first ever arena battle between the various Federation members and won by killing all the others. So, time for a brand new election. Looks like you are going to win. You have an eye for talent and you like destroyers, which I currently don't. And you want some more consumer. Oh, that's nice and easy. So really, really easy mandate, but not the best leader, really. But I'm afraid that's what people are voting for, and we're going to allow it. The war over here is finished, with this one taking a nice chunk from the Empire. But nice when our war's finally over as well. Oh, huge bit of lag here. Game. Oh, well, there we go, and... Oh my god, how much did the... Okay, did not realize the Combine was taking that much from the Star Realm. Well, our Federation has got a lot stronger. Prime has been destroyed. The hive mind that we had no problems with, which was actually reaching out to aid us with research, is now dead. The drones are going to wither away. And a unique life form in the galaxy has been snuffed out. On top of that, currently in the galactic community, we are going to lose this. The vast majority of people do not want to ban this. They want the trade to continue. The use of the galactic market to trade in sentient organics is abominable. We should ban this practice. The Honourbound looks to its Federation, it looks to the galaxy at large in disgust.
Species altered.
Hey, and finally our main species has been altered. So now, yep, our leaders of that type get a bonus, though only one currently. No, two! At least researchers are that. Do we have any governors to look at that? The governors give us extra research, so that's nice. But yeah, so one thing which I saw a lot of is we could just leave the Federation because of how brutal they are and honestly not following our ways of thinking. But if we do that, all we're going to leave behind is a Federation controlled by one of the other Federation members, which are now super powerful and will take control of the Federation fleet and will be a lot more keen to attack other empires since we can't stop them. Also, warring with them would be a brutal and bloody affair. I really do think that staying with the Federation but trying to make it more under our control and to maintain that control with an iron fist is probably the way to go. Can't send any more envoys over here, otherwise I'll end up losing experience over the Federation. And honestly, even if I did send them all over, we couldn't quite make up this ground. We could try to call in some favours, but actually that might just about make it if we do all of our favours, which costs a lot of influence, and send over all of the envoys. Will that just about make it? Sorry, Oath, for a little while we're going to hurt you. Oh, we only need one more envoy. Never mind, yeah, it's not gonna work, is it? No, we just need 6,000. Okay, is there another empire who will allow me to buy, allow me to buy favors who's a little bit more powerful? We might just be able to swing this vote in our favor. Both the empire and their neighbors have decided they like us right now. I'm actually surprised you're part of the Federation? United Sovereign Nations. Which is the Imperium, the Star Realm, and the Empire. Essentially 3 of the more downtrodden empires. They've banded together. Oh, can't anyone join me as a Protectorate willingly? I'll be a great guardian. Trust me. Oh, everyone's federated now. I have never seen a vote so close before. I had to spend so much influence, like 500 influence. It's only just gonna pass. Please no one jump in the last second. You just stay there on the side. If they do that, we should, in theory, be absolutely fine. Oh, someone jumped on our side. Did not need to spend quite as much influence then, apparently, but... yeah, that's why really you should only spend the influence at the last second. I don't know why I did that so early, to be perfectly honest. Okay, just 15 days to go until the vote will hopefully pass. With the slimmest of slim majorities, there we go! The trade has been banned. I've also now updated this species, and the half species is also going to be updated. I'm trying to keep in line with what they already were, so I'm not changing their personalities. They were already intelligent, so they've become even more intelligent. I've given them rapid breeders because, well, there are so bloody many of them, and everything else is pretty much lining up, allowing them to stay as nomadic, for instance, even though I'm not a big fan of nomadic in general. One of the other council members have used their power to put forward this, the recycling initiatives. We all benefit from reducing waste and reusing what we can. Sharing recycling protocols between nations at the Galactic community will help us all. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I don't like this, purely because the diplomatic weight from the economy is reduced and our economy is booming. But, yeah, I can't really argue with it. Less consumer goods upkeep in the long run is good. So sure, this may hurt me more than a few of the other empires, but I can't argue with it. I really can't. Also, we need more minerals. I'm trying to up our alloy production at the moment, and yeah, it is severely draining us of all of our minerals at the moment. I also do not need to do that. Let's just continue to make this one of our research worlds, since it is unstable, giving us more engineering research. Hey, one of our holy worlds, Landman's Retreat. The one who found the head of Zarklan in the first place. Ooh, we can build another affluence center. Lovely, very lucky with those. Sometimes I go a whole game without getting a single one of those special worlds, so really happy with that. Okay, there we go.
Construction venture completed.
Yeah, it's going to take a while before all of our species are updated, so our society research is basically completely going into all that. And what I'm going to do now... oh, actually, yeah, once I completely change the next species, I'm going to uplift one of these 2 pre-sapiens, which will give us loads of influence, and bring them into the fold. Look at those muscles! It's so weird seeing this portrait without clothes. Since I've played with this portrait so many times, like, that's been my main species. How many times is that? Lots. I tend to call them snakes. I really should start making more robots. Got quite a few upgrades for them now. Right now, I'm just sticking with them being ultra cheap. But yeah, I need to start building them on some of the new worlds. Less housing usage, less upkeep, less assembly speed. Sorry, more assembly speed. Wait, they are built faster. Oh yeah, there's this shielded world as well. My fleets are really close by right now, aren't they? Yeah, kind of. God, we need jump drives. Yeah, go and deal with that. I'm actually really curious. And you move there. You grab that dark matter. I'm using you as a trade. Yep, so we'll get all that trade value soon. Not that our trade value is particularly good once again. We are cooperative, and so we've gone with... Where are you? We have gone with the planned economic stance, which increases our energy from jobs and population growth and all this other good stuff, but increases our market fee. And to get that, we need things like social development, which essentially just don't produce energy from our trade value. We get a little bit of unity, a little bit of consumer goods, and a little bit of society research. Still worth grabbing if we have it, but it's not the most important thing. So right now, I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do next, because this is how it stands. Almost everyone is in a federation, and because of that, I don't particularly want to go to war with them. Not because we can't crush them, we can. But I don't want to go to war with all the other empires, because right now, these are fanatic xenophobes, they're absolutely brutal, but, and it's a weird one, they are now in this federation, the United Sovereign Nations, which includes empires like this over here, which are fanatic pacifists, and the Imperium, which I don't really have a problem with. They are fanatic authoritarian, but not in a particularly violent way. So to go to war with them is less ideal now, because I doubt they're going to war with anyone else because they're part of this federation. You're xenophobes, but you're also fanatic libertarians, so we actually don't mind you as much as we might do. You are necromancers, not our favourite thing. And the Imperium over here is fanatic xenophile pacifists. We have no problem with you at all. You've never gone to war with anyone as far as I can tell. So I'm at a bit of a loss about where to go next. We might have actually achieved galactic peace, which is weird to say because we don't control everything, but we're at a kind of stalemate. As long as I can stop my federation from attacking anyone, the superpowers are holding peace successfully. Because, you know, that's never a problem. We have a battleship fleet with their lovely strike craft almost ready to go. We have this fleet here and this fleet here. We're moving them all in to deal with Shard. The Federation fleet, on the other hand, is going to start dealing with some of these minor issues, which are just all over the place in my empire. For instance, I want this world, but it's currently being protected by something. I can't remember what, but there's a reason I ended up restricting it. So the first thing we're going to do, which would be against what we normally would like to do, is this. We are changing the succession term from 20 years to 40 years. Everyone is in agreement. They're not realising they are signing away their freedom one vote at a time. So now we have 25 years before the next challenge. In that time, we are going to be trying to undermine the power of the other members and increasing our own. Though it seems like, for some reason, they've changed now. They don't actually want the high centralization. Why not? They were really happy with it. I'm hoping it's just because right now the cohesion is a little bit damaged by everything that's changed. Because otherwise that's going to be a problem. They're saying that I am also very, very strong. All I have to do is convince one of them, and soon enough I'm actually strong enough to override all of them. Because, remember, our votes are diplomatic. I love diplomacy. Okay, it's like 4 AM. Obviously, I meant to say democracy then for the obvious reference, but diplomacy, I love both! I was also very wrong about something. Our trade is actually producing a full 263 consumer goods. That's not bad. Especially since we have no other buffers to trade. I mean, that's the thing. Normally, I do love consumer benefits, which does produce the same amount of consumer goods as social development, which we're currently stuck with. But generally, when I go with consumer benefits, I have an empire which in some way is benefiting from increased trade value. So it's interesting to see that even without that, mostly because of the habitats, admittedly, but even without that, we have a decent amount of consumer goods being produced from trade, which should increase over time. Same with Unity. It's the exact same number all round, but it is quite nice. We need to collect the trade from over there as well soon. Okay, so how are we going to do that and defend it? Might just wait until we have gateways and just pop a gateway down over there. We do want gateways around our empire anyway, because as we're seeing, it's taking way too long to get around. So hear me out here. Here's some reasoning I've got. I'm tempted to go to war with this empire because pretty much every other empire around them keeps on attacking them, and they are very weak. We could offer them Protectorate status. We can offer protection to another empire in exchange for some influence over their internal affairs. So they don't really need to do all that much. In fact, we basically let them be essentially free after the war. But they are permanently our protectorate. They can't expand anymore, but they can't expand anyway. The only thing they really can't do is go to war and have certain deals with their empires. But in return, the Honourbound would personally protect them, and they would be a full member of the Federation. This is a vulnerable empire, and I think making it a protectorate, even against its will, might be in its best interest. But then we are definitely going into the territory of we're becoming a bit more brutal and a bit less caring. I don't know. I really don't. I've just took another look. They're actually quite friendly with some of the members of our Federation, but they're against both of the other Federations, one of which borders them. In fact, both of them border them. And they hate them. They're currently at a truce, and that's not going to last all that long. We have like 5 years to decide before war probably breaks out again. Time to use our relic again, and I'm tempted to go with the Zarklan every time, just because eventually we'll have a really huge Fallen Empire fleet, which will be hilarious. But the Defragmenter is so much better, but I don't care. We are yours. Point us towards your enemies. Zarklan wills it. So there we are, one more. Actually, where's the original fleet? Oh, I think I've mixed them, haven't I? Yeah, you have the Avatar class over here. Okay, don't lose that when you fight Shard, please. That's gonna be like the bare minimum strength. Okay, let's send... Ooh, do I have jump drives? What are you doing? Oh no, these have jump drives. Okay, yeah, let's send in this other battleship fleet. That'll be enough to hopefully take out Shard. I imagine the Honourbound will be very cautious stacking Shard. At the same time, then the Federation fleet is busy elsewhere.
A study.
One more of our species has been updated. Oh god, they're constantly breeding with each other. Stop, please. I'm never going to be able to get you all upgraded. Now, of course, the more we have fully upgraded, the higher chance the new half species will carry the positive genes. But it's so annoying. Okay, going with the standard here. So how are we doing the Honourbound? The Honourbound. Yeah, we're making them unruly, because again, I think that makes complete sense. With their newfound strength and newfound intelligence, I can imagine them being a little bit more insane. And we actually have an extra pick here, because this is a half species. The benefit they get is they get an extra trait point and an extra trait pick. So, you're also good at engineering. Let's... Oh, actually, no, really, since you are half Honourbound, let's go back to your strong roots for you. I would much rather them be better engineers, but this will be better for theme. Well, it happened so quickly I didn't even see it. So the Empire... Ooh, look at you. You like psionics as well, but I'd much rather have a long-lived scientist, okay. We instantly destroyed this, this menace. So we're going to go around and clear all the other space as well, finally. These are the aggressive Xenos we literally can't make peaceful. Ooh, and this one will give us Cloud Lightning as well, which is really nice. Okay, we have a construction vessel ready as well. So we can grab that space as soon as we're there. Okay, just waiting for the final fleet to arrive. Then we are ready to go. The Federation wishes to go to war with the Star Realm. I am fairly certain this will kill them, completely removing the Empire. I vote no. Today's the day. I am now strong enough, diplomatically, democratically strong enough, to outvote all other members of the Federation. The oath will fulfill its purpose. The strong will lead, and peace will reign. Tyranny will be eliminated by the only honourable tyrant to ever exist. Welcome to the Lathrixian Empire! May have got a little ahead of myself there. Essentially, we can now actually stop war votes. So, you know, we can stop them from destroying every other bloody empire there is. We are kind and we are just. We will relinquish this power once peace has been attained. Okay, so quite a few things happening here. First of all, the Infinity Machine has just finished its event. We then also have the Shielded Planet. So, the planet itself has a barrier which is difficult to pinpoint the source of, but it appears to be coming from somewhere deep beneath the moon's barren surface. Ancient ruins of what must have been a large base of some sort, possibly a military nature, can be found inside one of the moon's largest craters. So, of course, we are going to excavate that as soon as we can. I don't actually know what this gives, by the way, so really interested in every single way there. Okay, one of our scientists has become stubborn. That's a bit annoying. But then we have the Infinity Machine, which is now finished. It is done! It is done! Somehow we've solved it. You helped! The organic nature of things eluded us. The answer lied behind us all this time. Thanks. Of course, thank you, little ones. The universe is vast yet so small, but now we see it in all of its simple glory. It's lovely. Now that we have calculated infinity, there is but one thing we can do now. We can show you the truth. Farewell, young ones. As you can see, the Infinity Machine is now heading towards the black hole itself. Stellaris really is beautiful at times. Is this the best outcome, or is this like the middle one? The Infinity Machine disappears into Gargantua, the thing it studied for so long. As it passes the event horizon, the black hole begins to fluctuate, it takes in less light and the swirls of matter being sucked into it slow down. In an instant, it lets out more light than any sun and starts radiating matter back into the universe. I just had to decline another war. Yeah, I think the Honourbound will now start looking at the other Federation members as very aggressive children. Not exactly favourable. The black hole shrinks. Unfitting of its name, we now dub it Pantagruel, causing time dilation to become even stronger around it. Within Pantagruel, one can gaze into a mirror universe, the other end of the black hole, one just beginning. The Infinity Machine has shown us the truth. The black holes are wombs and universes, their offspring. Studying this mirror universe is bound to teach us much about the one we live in, learning from other beginnings. There we go, tiny little Pantagruel. You Pantagruel. And with that, the Mirror of Knowledge. Oh, do we get that, or do our Federation members get that? No, we get the Mirror of Knowledge. Excellent. Plus 10% research speed. Yeah, I think this is the best outcome. The worst one, I think, is when it just basically goes, yeah, we couldn't succeed. Here's some really minor benefits. But there we go. So Pantagruel is now here, if that's how you pronounce it. Is that going to explode every single time I look at it? Oh, I love that. Ha! Explosions on demand. That's wonderful. So I just ended up googling Pantagruel because it seemed too much of a specific name, and yeah, so Gargantua and Pantagruel is a pentology of novels written in the 16th century telling the adventures of two giants, Gargantua and his son Pantagruel. Okay, I'll have to look more into that. So, references about? There's so many references in Stellaris, and so many of them still go over my head, it's insane. I'm just apparently very uncultured. Trying to go for some more L-Gate insights as well. I would love to go to the L-Cluster. Problem is, we don't have an L-Cluster gateway in our territory. Actually, I don't even know where the closest one is. Is that it? No, it's a regular gateway. That's a regular gateway. There's an L-Gate. Okay, that's not actually too far away, so that won't be too expensive for us to climb the L-Gate as our own. So, yeah, I will continue to move forwards as more of our species continue to upgrade. Should we uplift the... No, let's continue upgrading as many of these as we can before we continue. Stop breeding so quickly! I've decided our next edict is going to be diplomatic grants. At the moment, most of our power is coming from our diplomacy, and I think strengthening that certainly fits the bill. Although we could go with fleet supremacy, this will increase our diplomatic weight from fleet power, it makes our ship stronger. No, obviously this is the one we go with, because that's fitting our theme and still helping us. Our navy is our best means to project our power. This edict will prioritise them above lesser needs. Oh, looks like our fleets are almost in position. In fact, they are. Okay, let's finally take out Shard. Oh, wow, we're going to spawn right next to her. Well, too bad. There's our fallen Empire ships helping us out. Our swarms quickly just amassing around Shard, which is good because they're very good against armor. Oh, I'm assuming that was a one-shot kill, right? That was a cruiser as well. Yeah, a cruiser just went down in a single hit. Constant little zappy zaps. Does Shard have point defense? Oh no, one of our governors passed away. Please don't destroy that. Why are you so close? Look at the swarm around it. Okay, incoming from our corvettes. They're still using mining lasers, which are deadly versus hull, which is currently what Shard is made of. Yeah, I think victory is guaranteed. We're going to take a few losses, but ultimately we are plenty strong enough to deal with this. Also, I like how some of the shots are currently coming from the sun. These are actually Shard's attacks. It's just a weird thing. Oh, stop hitting our little fallen Empire ships. There's our destroyers. Wow, the swarm now, though. Ring around the rosies. Pocket full of lasers. The demise of Shard, the dragon. The vile old dragon, known as Shard, has drawn her final breath. In a satchel around her neck, nestled in a downy fuzz underneath the gnarled scales above her heart, hangs her most treasured possession, the Rubricator, a relic capable of replicating any artifact it has come into contact with. We feel no pity for this creature, who has destroyed a civilization before we made our... Wow, that's terrifying. Our colony, and then killed countless colonists. No! Stop asking for... Oh my god, it's instant. Yeah, we need to take more direct control. Even though we can keep on saying no to them, they're hurting our cohesion. Yeah, look how often they ask. It's insane. It's because different members of the Federation want to go to war. Some just to humiliate, which I'm also going to say no to, because I don't want to lose people for just humiliating an opponent. And then some to conquer and just ultimately destroy. Okay, get your butt over there. Let's get this relic world, which we're going to rename in Squarf's honor in some way. Naming suggestions are very, very welcome. Well, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's video. I do apologise if I've been a little bit lacking in energy during this video. So much stuff is still going on in real life, as I've outlined in the community tab on Twitter and stuff. And this video was actually recorded over 4 days because, well, it's a bit difficult to motivate yourself when everything around you is a little bit rubbish at the moment. So hopefully things will look up in the next week or so. I do plan on trying to get more recording time and everything else. I really did enjoy recording this video, and now we have some solid plans. Thankfully, even if our Empire does not particularly want me, our Federation rather, yeah, our Federation, which is all, you know, diplomacy and everything, even if they don't particularly want the high centralization, I now have enough diplomatic power, along with the vote white being diplomatic, to force it regardless. So, set that to high, set succession type to strongest, set war declaration to president decides. So I will have complete power over deciding on if we ever do go to war. We have full control over the Martial Alliance, and we're about to get our first rank of Stronger Together, extra damage versus the Endgame Crisis, which is good, because I can't remember how late we set the Endgame Crisis, but we are pretty weak for how late we are in the game. We're not the strongest Empire. We're not particularly min-max at all, but here we are, and finally we can bring some proper peace. So with that, if you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for your patience, and hopefully the videos will be a bit faster soon enough, and life will be more like normal life. Thank you, and goodbye.